Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? Please have your tickets in hand before you board the plane. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Johan Castell and you're watching Wings. On the show today, we showcase some of India's different dance forms as a world record was broken in Andhra Pradesh. We also cover how traveling for culture and heritage is becoming more popular, as well as festivals from the Balkans to the Baltics. Let's start. India's diversity is perhaps best experienced through its performing arts. Every dance form tells the story of a region, its people, traditions, and history. From a Guinness World Record performance in Andhra Pradesh to centuries-old classical and tribal traditions across the country, let's look at how these dances offer travelers a unique way to experience India's living cultural heritage. In a massive celebration of regional heritage organized a day before the inauguration of the state's new international airport, Andhra Pradesh has set a new Guinness World Record. Around 13,000 tribal performers came together to present Dhimsa, one of the best-known folk dances rooted in the Eastern Ghats. The event placed regional culture in the national spotlight. It also showed how travelers can experience India through music, movement, costume and local festivals. Dhimsa, which means sound of footsteps, comes from the tribal communities of Andhra Pradesh. Performers usually form a circle, link arms and move to the rhythm of drums and traditional instruments. For travelers, Araku Valley is one of the best places to see it. Located 114 kilometers from Visakhapatnam, you can combine a cultural performance with visits to coffee plantations, tribal museums, local markets and the Bora Caves. Next up, let's tell you about Kathak from North India. It reflects the storytelling traditions of cities such as Lucknow, Jaipur and Delhi. The form is known for fast turns, detailed footwork and expressive gestures. If you visit Lucknow, you can look for performances linked to the city's classical arts calendar. Delhi also hosts regular shows at cultural centers and auditoriums. The Khajuraho Festival in Madhya Pradesh also offers another strong travel experience. Visitors can watch various classical Indian dance forms, including Kathak, that's performed against the illuminated backdrop of the UNESCO World Heritage Site, the mesmerizing Khajuraho Group of Monuments. Bharatanatyam remains closely linked with Tamil Nadu. Here, Chennai's Margasi season, held during the winter months, brings together hundreds of music and cultural performances. You can attend shows at traditional sabhas, visit heritage neighborhoods, and explore temples during the same trip. Many cultural schools also offer short introductory sessions. These can help visitors understand basic hand gestures, facial expressions, and rhythm patterns before watching a full performance. Odissi takes travelers to India's best-kept secret, Odisha. Bhubaneswar, Puri, and Konark offer strong links between architecture, religion, and performance. The Konark Festival is one of the best-known events on the cultural calendar. It brings Indian classical forms to an open-air venue near the Sun Temple. You can also visit Raghurajpur, a heritage village known for its painters, artisans, and links with traditional performance culture. From Odisha, there's also Mayurbhanj Chhau that offers a very different experience. It uses strong body movements, controlled jumps, and techniques linked with martial training. Unlike some other Chhau traditions, Mayurbhanj performers usually do not wear masks. Baripada is the main place to explore this form. Regional festivals and local training centers give travelers a closer view of the preparation behind each performance. We visited Mayurbhanj a few years back and experienced this intriguing dance form firsthand. It was fascinating to see the drums, techniques, costumes, and physical skill involved. From Dhimsa in Araku Valley to Chhau in Mayurbhanj, each form connects visitors with a specific region. You can plan your trip around festival dates, cultural venues, and local heritage sites. These experiences offer a direct way to understand India through the communities that keep these traditions alive. This Independence Day, the country's cultural journey begins in the places where these forms are still practiced, taught, and shared. For years, travel in India was about visiting new destinations and checking off famous landmarks. But in 2026, travelers are looking for something more meaningful. They're planning journeys around heritage and festivals, with regional experiences shaping their travel. A new India Culture Travel Index captures this changing mindset. Here's the report.
There was a time when a holiday meant visiting iconic landmarks. Today, many travelers return home with something more valuable: stories and experiences. Across India, culture and heritage are increasingly becoming the reason people travel. This shift is reflected in Skyscanner's India Culture Travel Index 2026. The report identifies 5 trends driving India's growing appetite for culture-led travel called routes. This includes rediscovering heritage, open discovery, once-in-a-year experiences, traditions and taste, and smarter planning. India's growing interest in cultural travel is also being supported by wider investments in tourism infrastructure. Expanding highways, modernized railway stations, and improved connectivity are making heritage towns and cultural destinations easier to reach, strengthening tourism's contribution to the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. According to the India Culture Travel Index 2026, heritage continues to be the biggest draw. Nearly 47% of travelers say they would choose a destination because of its historical and heritage sites, with Kerala, Rajasthan and Uttarakhand among the most preferred cultural destinations. Every state in India has a cultural identity shaped by its own art and craftsmanship. For handloom weaving to intricate textile traditions, every region tells its story through its artisans. For many travelers, meeting the people behind these crafts has become just as important as visiting the destination itself.
First thing which I feel when I work with art, with artists, with artisans and art lovers is a simple feeling that I feel elated. That being an artist, I am on both sides. I see both the worlds where artists, they need patronage, they need some support, they need to be visible, and I am kind of a catalyst in that.
One such tradition from Gujarat is called Matani Pacheri. This is a sacred textile artwork that depicts incarnations of goddesses.
पहले तो आयरन होता है, आयरन और जागरी और 15 लीटर पानी होता है, उसको हम 15 दिन फिक्सिंग करते हैं, उसके बाद उबालते हैं इमली के बीज के पाउडर के साथ। वो इमली के बीज का पाउडर गम पेस्ट के लिए यूज़ होता है और उसके बाद हम बाम्बू स्टिक से आउटलाइन शुरू करते हैं। उसके बाद हमारा जो काम होता है ये ऐसा मातानी पचेरी और 700 ओल्ड आर्ट है।
टूरिस्ट आके ये आर्ट को पहचानते हैं, खरीदना चाहते हैं, कैसा है उसका रिस्पॉन्स?
बहुत ही अच्छा रहता है रिस्पॉन्स। गुजरात में जब सीज़न होता है, मतलब ठंड का सीज़न, तब आते हैं, घर पे भी आते हैं और सीखते भी हैं और 2-2 घंटा रह के हमारे साथ काम भी करते हैं और वो खरीदते भी हैं अच्छे से।
Next up, we visited the Kalighat painting artwork all the way from Kolkata.
कहानी को देखते हैं, हर कहानी को पेंटिंग में बनाते हैं, तो उसके बाद हम गाना बनाते हैं उसके साथ हिसाब से। और जैसा हो गया हमारा कोरोना वायरस तो हुआ था ना, तो कोरोना वायरस के लिए भी हम लोग गाना बनाया था, उसका जो कहानी जैसा जैसा हुआ था उसका। और दुर्गा माता की स्टोरी जो है, मनसा मंगल जो बोलता है, उसका भी सेम।
The report also shows that travelers are increasingly discovering India through its local traditions. Social media and YouTube have emerged as some of the biggest influences on culture-led travel. Beyond domestic tourism, 46% of Indian travelers have already traveled abroad for a cultural festival. In comparison, 43% say they would plan a trip around regional heritage experiences.
For decades, people have always been thinking about where do I go,
True.
right?
Yeah.
But today the question is, what do I want to experience, right? And that's a much more nuanced cultural piece. I do strongly believe that social media has a role to play.
Yeah.
It's an amplifier. So according to our data, 42% of our travelers have discovered where they want to go, whether it's a heritage site or a food place, etc., through social media or Instagram or Spotify. But I think the underlying belief is there in the traveler to actually want to and experience more of their country, which is where this is coming from.
Festivals are also reshaping India's travel calendar. According to the report, 72% of travelers would consider planning a trip specifically around a cultural or religious festival. Celebrations such as Durga Puja, Ganesh Chaturthi and Navratri are becoming major travel attractions, proving that for many people today, the experience itself is the destination. Food is playing an equally important role in shaping travel decisions. The report says 43% of Indian travelers are willing to plan a trip around regional food experiences. This changing mindset is also influencing how people plan their journeys. The report finds that travelers are beginning to plan their trips around festivals way in advance.
So the very unique thing about a festival is it's a fixed date in a year, right? So you can't really postpone that plan or you can't recreate that plan.
True.
So what we've been seeing in our booking data is that, contrary to like last minute bookings, which is a norm for a lot of Indian travelers, when it comes to culturally traveling and for festivals, people actually, 40% of our travelers are booking 3 to 6 months in advance.
Oh wow.
And so that just shows a very intentional, a very deliberate traveler who's really doing their research really well and planning well in advance to figure out their next cultural experience.
As more travelers seek meaningful experiences, cultural tourism creates new opportunities for the artisans, performers and local communities who have preserved these traditions for generations. India has never been short of places to visit. What's changing is the reason people travel.
Some places preserve history in museums. Others bring it back to life. Across the world, communities are recreating the sights, sounds, and traditions of the past through festivals that invite people to step into another era. Here's a look at celebrations where heritage takes center stage.
The streets of Sighișoara in Romania have turned into a scene from the Middle Ages as thousands of people gather for one of the country's best-known medieval festivals. Knights on horseback, musicians, craftsmen and townsfolk in period costumes have taken over the UNESCO-listed town of Sighișoara for its annual medieval festival. Founded in the 12th century, the fortified town provides the perfect backdrop for a celebration that recreates everyday life from centuries ago. Visitors don't just watch the festivities. Many arrive dressed in medieval clothing, becoming part of the experience. Among the characters making their way through the crowds is Vlad the Impaler, the 15th century ruler of Wallachia. Music from the era fills the streets, with performers playing traditional instruments, including the hurdy-gurdy, considered a predecessor to the modern violin. The festival also showcases handcrafted armor and weapons, highlighting the skill that once went into protecting the region.
I can tell you about the Sigishora. It's a piece of medieval town we didn't expect to meet here. It's like time capsule. Beautiful. And everything what is happening, it's just present, it's beautiful.
Historical combat demonstrations recreate the battles that shaped the area's past, with performers using swords, shields, axes, and spears. As evening falls, the medieval town takes on another charm, with costumed performers and visitors continuing the celebrations against the backdrop of centuries-old buildings.
In Bosnia and Herzegovina, an entire village has traveled back to the days of the Roman Empire. Residents of Mokro transformed their village into an ancient Roman settlement for this year's Roman Days festival. The event celebrates the region's archaeological heritage through historical reenactments, traditional crafts, and interactive activities. People of all ages dressed in Roman-inspired costumes and took part in workshops that included ancient perfume making and sculpture using historical techniques.
Today offers a unique opportunity to create your own personal perfume in the traditional Roman way, bringing the heritage of ancient Rome into our present day.
A temporary arena became the center of attention as performers dressed as Roman soldiers staged gladiator battles for visitors. Organizers hope the festival will encourage more people to discover the area's history while boosting local tourism. For a day, history wasn't confined to textbooks. It was lived, performed, and shared with everyone who came to watch.
In southeastern Estonia, a small community celebrates its identity through music, folklore, and centuries-old customs. For one day every year, this small Estonian village of Mikitamäe becomes the symbolic kingdom of the Seto people. The experience begins even before visitors enter. Instead of buying tickets, guests receive symbolic visas. They can even use a special festival currency, while a mock military parade adds a playful touch to the celebrations. The tradition began in 1994, just a few years after the collapse of the Soviet Union. When the new Estonia-Russia border divided the historic Seto homeland, the festival became a way to keep the community connected and ensure its culture would not fade with changing borders. The Seto people have lived in this region for centuries, but after the Soviet Union broke apart, many families found themselves separated by an international border. Visiting relatives or even family graves suddenly required visas, while many Setos living on the Russian side eventually moved to Estonia. One of the day's biggest traditions is the election of the Ulam Sutska, the representative of the Seto community. Candidates present their vision while standing on tree stumps, and supporters form long queues behind the person they believe should represent the community for the coming year.
We have different food, different drinks, handicrafts, dances, songs. We have so many different things, so many skilled craftspeople to show what a rich culture we have and to really introduce it so that people will know more about us.
The festival also showcases traditional food, handicrafts, and centuries-old customs that continue to define Seto identity. At the heart of it all is Lilo singing. Recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage tradition, Lilo is believed to be over 1,000 years old. One woman begins the melody before a choir joins in, creating a powerful style of singing that has been passed from one generation to the next, entirely by word of mouth.
Vienna is known for imperial palaces and classical music, but this summer, one of the city's oldest breweries drew visitors for a very different kind of event. More than 600 beer lovers gathered at the Ottakringer brewery to attempt a world record for the largest number of people pouring beer at the same time.
The attempt took place during the brewery's annual Summer Beer Festival. Participants sat at long rows of tables, each getting a bottle and a glass. At the signal, they all poured together. The rules were simple. More than 600 people had to pour beer from their bottles into their glasses at the same moment. Drone cameras recorded the attempt from above, while photographers and organizers documented the scene from the ground. The footage will now be reviewed before the result is officially confirmed. Organisers say more than 630 participants joined the attempt. That cleared the required number, but every pour still needs to be checked. For Ottakringer, the record attempt was also a way to draw new visitors to the brewery and turn a traditional beer festival into a more interactive experience.
Beer is something that brings people together, and we always try to create shared experiences and moments that stick in people's minds.
Ottakringer has brewed beer in Vienna since the 19th century. Today, the brewery remains one of the city's best-known names and also serves as a venue for concerts, festivals, and public events. The summer festival celebrates Austrian brewing culture with live music, food, and beer tastings. The world record attempt gave visitors a chance to become part of the event rather than simply watch it.
We hope that, in a week at the latest, we'll be able to announce that we've broken the world record for simultaneous beer pouring.
The record attempt lasted only a few seconds, but the build-up brought hundreds of people together despite the summer heat. Some joined for the possible world record. Others came for the atmosphere, the free glass, and of course the beer.
It's a must when there's a world record attempt taking place here. Free beer plus a free glass. Actually a no-brainer.
We hope that, in a week at the latest, we'll be able to announce that we've broken the world record for simultaneous beer pouring.
For travelers, Vienna's beer culture offers another side of the Austrian capital. You can visit historic breweries, join tastings, and attend festivals that bring local traditions into a modern setting. And at Ottakringer, more than 630 visitors may soon have added a new world record to that experience, one glass at a time.
That's all we have for you on the show this week, but we return with more next weekend. Until then, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. Goodbye.